RPM Train Vietnam in this bitch. Y'all know what time it is. Time for that gun talk. I can't even get out that way. I can't even get out the parking lot this way. Hold up. It's time for some more of this gun talk. Motherfuckers is out here tweaking, bruh. I want to respectfully do what it is that I'm about to do and say, because somebody who I do not want to offend, has brought some alarming things to my attention in regards to this AR-15 talk, gun rights, and how all of this shit is perceived by the public. So I do have what up, Rick James? Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know I would just talk shit, cuss motherfuckers out, disrespect more type of shit, because I feel like it is that serious. I feel like what we have to lose in regards to these gun rights, and our lives and the state of the country, all of this shit is so worth it. What up, Cuss One? It's so worth it to me. It's like the example that I gave in my last live stream that I did just this past Sunday. The expectation that you will respect or play nicely with someone who has slapped your mother, your girlfriend, and your daughter, the expectation that you play nice with them, it has to be out of the window. If you go berserk on whoever does that to your family, especially women in your family that you have a duty to protect, I'm not going to expect that the guy who has to watch that happen is going to respond respectfully, tastefully, and he's going to be all polite and PC and all that shit. No, he not. No, he not. And he don't got to. I expect for that man to be the most dangerous that he has ever been in his life if you do that to him and his peoples. That's what's going to happen. When you fucking with these gun rights, what I see you preparing to do is so detrimental to the peace, harmony, and freedom that we're supposed to have, that in reaction to that, I have no qualms about being fucking totally disrespectful, mean, and damn near threatening. I have no problems with being like that because of what it is that we're dealing with and how heavy that is and how some people got the audacity to even fuck with that shit. So because of that, yeah, I be going the fuck off. When I be snapping, I be going off. Yeah, I be going, bruh. And motherfuckers is lucky that I got the heart, mind, creativity, and the peace inside myself to have so much to lose that all I am doing is talking tough. Be glad that all I'm doing is talking. Y'all don't appreciate that enough, and then that sounds threatening to some people. Get the fuck out of here. Man, look, I am who I am, and that's what it is. But I do want to peacefully address some shit because I have to have some sympathy for the fact that the gun debate is in the state that it's in, mostly because of ignorant people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, I just talked to somebody that I work with, and this is a female too, keep that in mind. Just talked to somebody briefly today that I work with about gun ownership and the AR-15. That is, this woman, she owns a pistol. Says she's got a 9mm. She's been known to carry it from time to time for defense. So she understands the responsibility and the right that she has as a woman, a small woman too. She's a small chick. She works out. She's very fit. She's a fitness expert, actually. She knows what the hell she's talking about when it comes to the human body nutrition and working out and building the body to be the best it can be. She knows what the fuck is up. She's a fucking guru. She corrected me on my bicep curl technique. Just a little bit of adjustment made a world of difference. And the whole time I've been doing bicep curls wrong, bro. I've been fucking it up, thinking that I'm some tough guy, strong. I know how to lift weights. And she put me up on game in 3 seconds, told me something to change my whole perspective about how to do a dumbbell curl. Simple shit like that, right? She set me straight with that, and that's cool. So she's not an idiot. This is why I hold people who I know they are not idiots. This is why I hold them. I like to put their feet to the fire about why it is that it seems like they cannot exercise all of this logic thinking, intelligence and proper perspective and objective truth. She can iron all of that shit out when she's talking about all this healthy shit. Can't iron it out when I talk to her about gun ownership. Because she kind of disappointed me with this shit this morning. Because I thought she had already showed me her intelligence. That I knew that if I just say something intelligent or objectively true, she gonna follow suit because there is no place to go when you talk to intelligent people. This is what I thought. But she went on and said some crazy shit about AR-15 ownership. She owns a 9mm pistol. Says that she is kind of in between. She sees both sides, but she don't really think that somebody should own an assault weapon. That's what she called it. Now I can tell she's already repeating the news. She's not thinking for herself. Number two, she says you shouldn't be able to shoot off like 50 rounds in 10 seconds or something like that. Number one, my AR-15 cannot do that. And if it can do that, it's going to be through practice and diligent training that I flick my fucking trigger finger that fast, because the gun won't do it that fast because I do not have an automatic AR, bruh. So she thinks that an assault AR-15 or assault rifle, like an AR-15, quote unquote, assault, okay. What about defense? Because my shit is defense. I got defensive weapons. And we're going to talk about the potential use of the weapon to help us identify the weapon. I'm going to say I got a defensive rifle, which excludes me from your conversation about assault weapons. You're not even talking to me. That's what I feel like. If you want to play that game, I get to play it too, and I call my shit defense. And now you're not talking to me. Regulate whoever plans on assaulting people. Let's do that. Let's stick to with these words that you're using, people. So she say assault weapon, and she says you shouldn't be able to shoot off 50 rounds in 10 seconds. If it was fully automatic, I can do more than 50 in 10 seconds. She's got no idea what she's talking about. This is just her not knowing. She's not dumb. She's not a gun hater. She don't hate that AR-15. She don't know what she's talking about. Because if she knew and she had more knowledge and understanding about it, it will change her perspective of how she feels about it. It would have to. You can't remain the same if you start this conversation or if you're standing in a position of thinking that an AR-15 is an assault weapon and that it can shoot 50 rounds in 10 seconds from the pull of a trigger, or somehow like it's automatic. So I said, no. It can't do that. This is a semi-automatic. She says, I got a 9mm. I don't want a semi-automatic or fully automatic. I don't want none of that stuff. And I go, your 9mm is a semi-automatic. She kind of looked at me like, she didn't know what to say. Then I told her that I proceeded to say that matching the energy of a public shooter should be in the rights of the hero, that he's got the same gun while he's being a hero, hurting nobody, but only awaiting the call to action if he's got to stop a bad guy and the bad guy has this big ass gun. You don't want to be outnumbered. Outgunned. So she says, no, you don't need to match their energy. And the best way to deal with them is to try to understand them, to get them to understand you. And I'm thinking in my head, in the preventative measures, okay, yeah. If he's already shooting, what are you going to do? Then she proceeds to give me some exception to this grand rule that the fact that she knows somebody, which I have to believe her word on this. She knows somebody that talks somebody down in the midst of what could potentially have been a school shooting or a public shooting, because the armed guy had an AR-15 and then somebody had to talk them out of it and they were unarmed. And I go, yeah, okay, that's cool. That's lightning striking, though. You don't get an opportunity to always do that. These guys get out here blasting. So I'm asking you, what happens when they're already shooting? You're not listening to me. This is what I'm saying to her in a way politer way than what I'm giving it to you right now. I was being super polite because this is what you have to do. You catch more flies with honey. You can't be as aggressive as I am when you're talking directly to somebody when they're bringing all of their personal shit, because then they feel personally attacked. And what did you do? Bring all these personal stories. That's one in how many times have you felt like somebody could talk somebody out of a public shooting when they're armed right then and there in the moment with the AR-15 ready to do this? The police not gonna let you talk that bullshit to them. Tell them that they should connect to in a system of mutual understanding with a public shooter in order to stop them, that they don't need to match that shooter's energy. Go tell the police that. Go tell the police that shit. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how somebody who I give credit for being an absolute guru and genius, knowing a whole bunch about the human body, way more so than what I know. I don't know fitness enough to be no guru in the way that she is. She knows what she's saying. You can't be an idiot to do that. You have to know what you're talking about, and you have to actually put what you know into practice to stand firm on what it is that you thinking you know. And she does. She's a fit woman. She's practicing what she preaches. So she's not an idiot. Why the hell did she just say some shit right there that don't make no sense to me at all whatsoever, not even a little bit? What are you saying? Because you wouldn't be able to convince the police that only if they could talk to the mass shooter who are already firing when the police get there, because they're reactionary. They're not going to be there before. You see how she's not thinking? Can y'all see how she's not thinking? Because she brings all of her emotions and her feelings to the table. She brought all of that shit to the table. She's not listening. She's got her heart and her concern about innocent people being gunned down with a rifle of any kind, and thus she thinks that nobody should really be able to have that shit. There's no need for it. There's other ways to handle these situations. Matching their energy is not going to stop it. Blah, 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 blah. This is what she's saying. All that sweet talk, not either. Because his grandmama been praying for him. Everybody been talking him out of it. The Law Society has been telling him since he was a child that doing certain things will get him killed by police or locked up in prison for the rest of his life, maybe even executed by the state for what the fuck it is that he does. He already has the knowledge of the heart that you want him to reach for. He don't give a fuck about none of that shit if he's already in public shooting, because he's going to be shooting when he reveals himself to you and the police that this is the kind of person that he is. He's going to reveal that side of him to you, not in words, not in a fucking poem, but when he starts shooting, that's when you're going to know that that's who he is. What do you do in that moment? She cannot answer this stuff, man, and she has the firearm. But what she doesn't understand is, if she wants to be so virtuous that she couldn't hurt nobody, she don't think anybody else can have that gun or should even have it, what would she think about it if I put one of my ARs in her possession? Who's she going to hurt? She's going to say nobody. Because the gun's not going to make her do shit and the gun ain't going to shoot itself. So she would be a safe bet to have that gun, because who the fuck is it going to hurt? Well, she don't like the gun, don't really want the gun, don't really think nobody else is going to have the gun, but the gun just so happens to be in her possession or in her hands if I take her to a shooting range and pass her my AR-15. This story tells itself. That's why I do believe that it is a big hurdle to jump over to get people to, number one, get out of their feelings, and number two, admit it that they're bringing their hearts to the table before they have any knowledge or understanding or real education about what the fuck it is that they already put their heart in. This woman had her heart in thinking, I know my answer to the AR fucking question, and I can tell you right now that I don't like it, and I can tell you why. And she began to go into this stuff, man, and it's all based on a whole bunch of shit. I'm sorry. And she's a cool person. Like I said, she's not an idiot. That's why I got some hope. That's what drives me to do what I do. Because the only thing that's stopping y'all from understanding this shit is a little bit of checking your fucking feelings at the door, because your feelings are going to get other people hurt, because what you're saying is that nobody should be able to do that, not even to a bad guy, which is retarded. She's not retarded. The sentiment is ridiculous to think that we need to be sparing the lives and the feelings and the preservation of life inside of a person who reveals himself to be a public shooter because he started shooting, and that's where you had your discovery of who he was when he started shooting. She knows she's not going to convince the police departments in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, or no place else of the shit that she was trying to convince me of by saying what the fuck she said about this AR-15 discussion that we had. This brief little 5-minute discussion. She's got to be smart enough that if I talk to her again about this shit, which I'm almost not even wanting to, because she's going to find herself offended by me probably. If she thinks that she can convince people like me that everything she was saying should bring us to a level of saying that we will arm ourselves for defense with the pistol, but we do not need the AR, that doesn't even make any sense. If you trust me to defend myself with the pistol, why can't I not have the AR? That's because in her mind, she's thinking this thing is going to fucking spray, maybe uncontrollably. Kind of hard for anybody to kind of gauge their control over a weapon that tends to do that. She is painting this comic book picture in her head of this gun and of the people that would choose to use it, to the point that she has made herself dangerously ignorant while bringing her whole heart to the table, where she felt that on sight, as soon as I mentioned this, that she was already secure in how she feels about the shit, because she's already made a choice about how to feel about it, and she believes that her heart will make her right no matter what it is that I said. And I asked her, do you think you can convince the police of this shit? And she just moved on instead of answering me directly, because not just her, but women in general tend to do this. People in general tend to do this when you corner them in their logic with some shit that they can already see the flaw in their logic in. I asked her, do she think she can convince the police to do this? To give up their heavy artillery? Because matching the bad guy's energy is unnecessary. It all sounded childish and scary and ridiculous to me when she was saying this stuff. Keep in mind, let me say it again, over and over again, that I respect this person. I do not mean to offend her, really, or anybody else, really. When I speak so hard about this shit, I'm speaking in generalities about the topic, and within individual people, I will cater to the fact that I know I'm talking directly to a human being, and that I do not even need to be that aggressive, and that I should talk it out and reach for some understanding by having them tell me what steps did they take to come to their conclusion, and what steps I took to get to mine, and how their steps are allowing them to lose themselves in emotions when their steps are not going to lead them to anything that's any safer for the people that they claim to want, to wish safety and protection for. You're going to get them people hurt with all your shit. That's what's going to happen, because you're not making no sense. People that feel like this, that think like this, ain't making no sense. The truth has, what up, Scott? Hell yeah, the truth matters. It has to matter. The truth is actually the only thing that does matter. Everybody else's feelings in the in-between and making exceptions to the rules off of 1 in a 1,000 fucking chance of something happening in that way. You can't pluck that out of the 1,000 and say, here's something that means that you should give up your AR because of this one time one person got lucky enough to not get gunned down, but to actually talk somebody out of a fucking shooting. Like I said before, I gotta believe that that's even true that she said that. When she said that, that's true. Is you making that up? Is whoever told you making that up? Come on, man. Now I gotta believe all that shit, because that sounds ridiculous. And if you can talk him out of it, he didn't mean it. The people that mean it, they can't be talked out of that shit. You're not gonna get in voice range enough to fucking calm them down. They're gonna shoot at you when you get in range of them. This is the guy that means it, and this is the guy that I'm talking about. This is the guy we need to address. Prepare for him, not for the guy who you think you can sweet talk. Who's going to prepare for the guy you can sweet talk and say that that's enough? Not thinking. And this is a woman. I'm a testosterone-driven grown-ass man with kids. My perspective on the world is different than hers, and I know that. But these people will crowd the space with their heart to speak against the fucking AR. So now if you in the fire, then burn with me. Now you got to come all the way in here with me. I can't cut you no slack for being ignorant, for just being unknowledgeable about the whole topic, or for being new to the gun culture, or for being a woman who don't even got no kids, who don't understand how diligent protectors need to be in a world like this in regards to the protection for their children and their families. She's got no idea what that really feels like. So I can understand that there's a gap in her understanding. Can't cut you no slack because you bring your heart to tell me that you don't really think people need that. Now you're in here. Now you're in here. Now I can't care about this other stuff because you trying to fuck with my shit. As much as I care and respect about this woman, as far as just being a human being, she's a nice human being. She's a sweet woman. The shit that she has talked to me about, other little things in her life, and what she knows about other things that she's got knowledge in, that she focuses on, that she finds important in the world, consciousness and all this other stuff. She's a very smart person in that arena. She understands pondering the consciousness and wondering who we are and what's going on. Is there such thing as a past life, and what is all of that shit, and what is this stuff? She's real smart with that, and I dig her for that. That's dope. She thought enough about gun ownership to buy a gun and to carry it from time to time for her own protection. She gets it. She gets it a little bit. If somebody says, show of hands right now, who wants us to just ban these fucking guns right now? She's going to raise her hand without thinking about none of the shit that I tried to tell her in the 5 minutes that I got a chance to talk to her about. She's not going to think nothing at all about the world history of what has happened when other countries have fallen in these fucking footsteps, and then what happened later on as a result of them giving up their gun rights. Because nobody can take them. You got to give them up or be fooled out of them. You cannot lose them. You can't lose them. Stop saying that, people. You can't lose your rights. We're not losing shit. We're being tricked and bullied out of them so that we give them up. We can only give them up. Yeah, she'll side with them. She won't consider all this other stuff. Not the history, no nothing. Not none of the shit I said to her, no nothing. And that's by default because she's not being told to turn her perspective this way. Now, what do you see over there? You see that? In the bushes? Yeah, that's the danger. And you think everything is in the clear. 5 years before Hitler showed up, they got rid of all the fucking guns from certain people and put all these strict restrictions on shit. And then when Hitler showed up, he did what the fuck he did and then scared other German people into fucking helping him. Get down and lay down is what he told their ass. Ridiculousness. Was she considering that when she said this shit to me? I bet you she wasn't. This is what the problem is. People who got their heart in the shit is not considering everything that we consider when we say, no, I think we need this. I got a fucking information stack this fucking high of reasons and examples and concerns that I have when government is trying to control this fucking gun shit. She's just got a few reasons to make her oppose it. She don't even know what the fuck she's talking about. She don't even know that her fucking 9mm is a semi-automatic. She says she don't want a semi-automatic or a fully automatic. She don't want none of that shit. And I realized that she got a semi-automatic. When I told her that her 9mm is a semi-automatic, she had this look on her face like she wanted to say, oh, well, no, it's not. But she didn't have the courage or the knowledge or the understanding to even deny what it was that I was saying. Then she denied everything else that I said after that, not with answering my question, but trying to replace it with something that was coming from her heart, where her feelings are, where her fear is at. That's what she did, and that's what a lot of y'all is out there doing to fuck with this gun shit and to stand in the way. If all the bad guys would just stand up and say, we don't give a fuck about these gun laws or the Constitution and none of that shit, because we already have thrown our lives away and buried our own morality behind the fact that we have already chosen in our hearts to be the bad guy with this gun. Here we come. All the bad guys who feel like that, right? They're there. They're doing that. They're going to do that. They're not going to give a fuck about all this sweet shit that you got to say or that I got to say. They already don't care. They're not going to stop to listen to you either. And you got to know that this is just logic. Follow me with the logic, please. Since we know that, what you also got to know is there's somebody who is willing to stand up with every tool available to be the hero in a situation like that. And sometimes you do want or need the shotgun or the AR-15 or whatever you feel proficient with, that you think is giving you proper chance to win a fight for your life or to protect other innocent people, when the bad guy could be coming with anything and everything, because he's not going to bring his heart when he says that he wants to do an act of public random fucking violence. He's not going to choose the pistol over the AR because he don't want to be that mean. He's going to pick that AR, and I should be able to have the same thing if need be to stop him. Anybody who can't understand that, who don't want me to be just as aggressive and proficient and ready to stop a threat as the threat would be to engage in a threat, you are a weirdo and you don't really sound like you're trying to protect the people when you say that. And I get to say that, and you have to accept that. Now, I'm not talking to her, I'm talking about anybody. You have to accept that. You're going to accept that now. We're not going to play no games with you. You're literally telling me that the bad guy's going to be who the fuck he is. He's going to come with all the aggression and all of the firepower that he can possibly muster. Even if he's got to go get an AK or an AR-15, this is what he's going to do. And since we know that has happened in the past and that it's going to happen in the future, you have to be telling the hero that he gets to use that same gun. Don't try to make me as the hero take a disadvantage because you don't want to see the bad guy shot with an AR-15. Fuck him. He threw his life away when he decided to do that shit. We got to not care so much about what happens to him. And he's not going to get hit 50 times in 10 seconds because my AR is not fully automatic. You don't know what you're talking about, and that's why you said that. So I should be able to her or anybody else point out their flaws and even identifying what the fuck it is we're talking about. Let them know that they are operating in a state of ignorance and misunderstanding, and that they do need to yield all of their heart and their feelings, put that shit to the side, and listen to the actual objective truth and knowledge about what it is we're talking about, so that they can reevaluate how they think and feel about it. I should be able to say that, I should be able to expect that, and then I should be able to get that from any grown person who wants to be respected as a grown-ass person who feels like they got an opinion that needs to be heard about this gun debate. Period. If I can't get that, then you're not going to be able to talk to me, and good luck in your life, because you don't really sound like a smart person. Because you're not going to be able to convince the police to give up their heavy artillery, because who would ever need that to stop any bad guy? Tell them that. They're not going to listen to you. I'm not either. I'm not going to listen to you either. I'm not going to listen to you either. And your feelings are not going to matter. Because if I pass this girl my AR-15 and all her sweetheart, all her sweetness, who's she going to hurt? Why she's hating the AR-15, but she's got mine in her hands? Nobody. Nobody. She'll tell you that she's not going to hurt nobody. That the possession of that firearm did not turn her into a mass murderer, because she is who she is in here, and the gun can't change her. That's what she would say. That's what they say when they give these same guns to law enforcement. That who that man is here and here is going to make that gun safe and used for defensive purposes only. If y'all don't want honorable men who are walking amongst you on a day-to-day basis trying to be normal, if you don't want them to have that same honorable natural response to wanting to protect people in their environment, their kids, their family, and the public at large. If you don't want them to walk with that same diligence as if it is their duty to protect them, if something's going on and you're a grown-ass man, you better do something to save somebody. And if you need a gun to give you the courage to do that, then by God, fucking do it. Save somebody. Don't be a fucking coward. Take the gun. But do all of the good, though. If you don't want the regular average man to walk around like that, what you're saying is this honorable shit the police walk around with is for them and no one else. And if other people fall to the wayside because you're convinced a world full of men to step aside to let law enforcement be the only ones to do that, you are ridiculous. This is strange to have to talk to people like this. And this is about as polite as I can get, and I mean no harm. But this is about as polite as I can get, man. This is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to beg people for this shit. You shouldn't have to beg them to understand. You're not going to kumbaya or legislate a bad guy out of his broken heart and his broken mental state of mind that brings them to the point of doing this. You're not going to change that with all this sweet shit. Not after he's shooting, for damn sure. In the meantime, everybody needs to be armed with whatever gun they think that they need while keeping a good heart. Anybody who violates anybody else with any firearm, a pistol or a rifle, I hope they die if they started that fight. I hope you die for that. And you're supposed to. You're supposed to die hard for starting that fight. And I don't care if whoever stops you has a pistol or an AR or a badge. I don't care who it is, where they come from, or what they think. If they stop you, good for them. That's what's supposed to happen. And I don't got time to be picky and choosy about who the hero is or what gun they used. If I had to save her life and I had to blow some bad guy down with my AR, she's not going to look to me in disappointment and say, why'd you use that one? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. I know we got a fucking problem, though. I know we got a problem on planet Earth. And the way I see it, you should tell all of the soft in-between ass people to get the fuck out the way. All the people that feel like me, stand the fuck up. And us versus the bad guys, we will save all of these people in between that's pussyfooting and bullshitting and walking in a state of hypnosis. That they think that their opinion can be valued when they are in a state of ignorance. She's not the only one. She didn't know her 9mm was a semi-automatic. Wow, bruh. Wow, bruh. I cannot do this, man. What the fuck is going on? RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. I gotta get my ass through my motions on my lunch break and get my ass back to work so I can earn this money and buy some more guns. I need to do a gun collection video, all type of shit, man. I be dragging my feet, losing myself in time with my family and shit. I gotta be more productive, but I just gotta take myself back to my college days and say, look, man, if I get 5 hours of sleep, that's enough for me. And then just go with it. And I'm good on little sleep. I can do that. I need to start forcing myself back into that mode because there's work to be done, man. I'm inspired today because I can't believe she said that crazy shit. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. She said the real problem is health and nutrition and all this other shit. Come on, shorty. That's all you know. So then you bring that to the table to say that this is going to stop the next mass shooter. You got to wake up or get out the way. If you can't be knowledgeable about what it is you're talking about, hold your opinion, keep that shit, bring the volume down a little bit on your opinion, stand off to the side, and let the people in between figure this out. Let the bad guys and the good guys figure it out. You just kind of, people like that are just kind of in the way. Because she would vote to have something very strange happen to gun ownership in this country. The whole time she's got a 9mm and don't know that that's a semi-automatic. I can't do it, bro. RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. Wu Bang this gun shit is for everybody. Get a fucking gun and tell all of the bullies, no matter what they dressed in, if they got a beard and a sundress on, or they got a badge and that funny ass 1972 porn stash, it don't matter who they is. If they bullying and they started that shit, I hope they die for that. And that means all of you. You better fucking be good around me, motherfucker.